At the beginning of the film, we see a man named Dalton Russell. He looks directly into the camera and addresses the viewer. Dalton tells us that he committed the perfect bank robbery on Wall Street. He simply walked out through the front door and was never caught. The only question that remains for everyone is, how did he pull it off? Dalton smiles mysteriously. He knows the answer, but he'll only reveal it at the end. Later, we're shown Dalton and his crew pulling up to the Manhattan Trust Bank. They're disguised as painters. A gray van with a painting company logo stops at the service entrance. 4 men in work overalls step out. They're carrying paint buckets and tools. Security doesn't pay them any attention, just ordinary workers, nothing suspicious. Dalton is the first to enter the bank. He quickly assesses the situation and disables the security cameras using a flashlight. His partners work in perfect sync. Within seconds, they manage to lock all the bank doors. They pull weapons from their bags and order everyone to get on the floor. Panic breaks out, screaming, crying, but the robbers have the situation under control. Outside, an officer notices smoke from smoke grenades coming from the building. He stops and approaches. Suddenly, Dalton appears at the door from inside. He tells the cop that he has hostages, many hostages, and he'll kill them one by one if the cops come any closer to the building. He deliberately speaks with an Arabic accent to confuse the officer. The cop backs off and immediately calls for backup. Within minutes, a swarm of police cars with flashing lights rushes toward the bank. The street is blocked off in both directions. At the same time, across town, the owner of Manhattan Trust Bank, Arthur Case, learns about the takeover. He's told which branch of his bank has fallen into the hands of criminals. This news makes Case extremely nervous. He's clearly worried about something more than just the money in the vault. The old man grabs his phone and calls a powerful fixer named Madeleine White. Madeleine White is a woman who solves delicate problems for the rich and powerful. She works in the shadows. No official titles, no business cards, just connections and capabilities. Case asks her to find a way to protect important family heirlooms stored in his personal safe deposit box at the bank. Madeleine listens and sets one condition. If Case decides to tell her what's inside the box but lies to her, their agreement will be immediately terminated. She doesn't tolerate lies. Case is silent for a few seconds. He doesn't lie, but he doesn't tell the truth either. He just wants the secret contents of the box to remain inside at any cost. Next, we meet 2 more key players in this story. Detectives Keith Frazier and Bill Mitchell from the Hostage Negotiation Unit. Frazier is an experienced negotiator. He's handled dozens of similar operations. Mitchell is his loyal partner. Together, they make an excellent team. The detectives rush to the bank in a police car with lights flashing. They arrive on scene and enter one of the command vans. Captain Darius, who's controlling the situation outside, briefs them. The news isn't good. Nobody knows exactly how many suspects are inside the bank. The number of hostages is also unknown. Cameras are disabled. There's no communication with the robbers. Meanwhile, inside the bank, the robbers separate the hostages into 2 groups. Bank employees go into one group, customers into another. Dalton methodically goes around and orders everyone to hand over keys, cell phones, and any other communication devices. One bank employee says he left his phone at home. Dalton stares at him intently. He doesn't believe a single word. The robbers search this employee's office and find his phone in a desk drawer. Dalton returns to the man. Without a word, he brutally beats him right in front of the other hostages. This is a lesson for everyone. Don't lie, don't resist, don't try to be clever. After this demonstration, another man hurriedly hands Dalton his keys that he'd been trying to hide. Later, Dalton reshuffles the hostages again. He gives a strange order. Everyone must strip down to their underwear. Then they're given identical costumes and masks, exactly like the robbers themselves. Gray jumpsuits, black masks, white gloves. Within minutes, it's impossible to tell the criminals from the victims. Everyone looks exactly the same. Suddenly, an elderly man, one of the bank employees, starts feeling unwell. He clutches his chest and tells the robbers he has a serious heart condition. He needs medication. Dalton assesses the situation and makes a decision. He releases the old man. The robbers open the door and push him outside. Outside, police immediately grab the elderly man and start questioning him. The man thinks there are 4 criminals in the bank. He's not sure. Everyone was wearing masks. He also delivers a warning from the robbers. Police must not approach the bank building, otherwise there will be 2 dead bodies. Dalton isn't joking. Inside the bank, the group of robbers checks on the remaining hostages. They walk through the main hall, past the vault and safe deposit boxes. Finally, they stop in a storage room at the back of the vault. Dalton surveys the room and nods to his people. This is the place they need. This is where they'll work. After some time, we see the robbers breaking through the floor in the storage room. They're using jackhammers and other tools. The noise is deafening. Hostages in the main hall flinch at every blow. What are they doing? Digging an escape tunnel? Or is this part of some more complex plan? Outside, Captain Darius tells Frazier about the man the robbers released. He also tells the detectives he's waiting for security camera footage from the bank, footage from when the robbery started. Additionally, all phone calls from the bank have been redirected to the police command post. Now the ball is in Frazier's court. He must decide how to proceed. The detective thinks it is not yet time to call the robbers. He wants to see what their next move will be. Give them time. Watch how they behave. While they wait, Mitchell finds the robber's van on a nearby street. Forensics dusts it for fingerprints, though the vehicle was probably stolen and the prints won't lead anywhere. When Frazier finally decides to call the robbers, something unexpected happens. Dalton simply doesn't answer. The phone rings and rings, no response. The robber is playing with them, showing who's in control here. Camera footage doesn't provide any information either. All cameras were disabled in the first seconds of the takeover. Meanwhile, Madeleine White visits the mayor of New York. She asks for a very big favor. Madeleine says she's monitoring the bank situation for her client. She wants to go inside with the police to do her job. The mayor shakes his head. It's impossible, too dangerous, against all protocols. But Madeleine insists. She reminds the mayor of certain favors she's done for him in the past, of secrets she keeps. The mayor gets the hint. He reluctantly agrees to do her this favor. Madeleine gets special clearance to access the operation. Meanwhile, the robbers release another hostage. This time, there's a note attached to him for the police. The officers see it's a man of Eastern appearance. They mistake him for an Arab terrorist and treat him rather roughly.
But Frazier isn't about to give up that easily.
They throw him to the ground,
something doesn't
put
add up here.
handcuffs on him,
He can
yell
feel
at
it.
him.
Later, the
Only
detective
then
starts
do they
digging
realize
deeper.
their
He
mistake.
finds information about
Later,
a secret
the
safe
detectives
deposit box
question
at
this
the
man
bank.
at a
The
nearby
very
diner.
one Arthur Case
His
was worried
name
about.
is Vikram.
Frazier starts piecing the facts together. He meets with Madeleine again and shows her his recordings. On them, she and the mayor are blackmailing him in the command bank. Now, Frazier has leverage. He proposes a deal. In exchange for not making the recording public, he asks for information about Case's boss. Madeleine realizes she's been called. She gives Frazier a hint, but asks him to forget about this case. Some secrets are better left buried. Some people are too powerful to mess with. Later, Madeleine moves to a case. She tells him that Frazier won't be a problem. But there's bad news. Dalton kept the documents from the box. He'll hold on to them as insurance. If Case tries to do anything against him, the documents will become public. Additionally, Madeleine knows that there were diamonds in the box along with the documents. Case nods and adds that there was something else. A Cartier ring that belonged to his Jewish friend. The very one he didn't save from the Nazis. Because the Nazis paid too well. A week passes after the robbery, and finally, we learn how Dalton managed to pull off the perfect crime. He hid inside the bank, behind a fake wall that his team built in the story. That's what they were digging the hole for, and working on all that time. Dalton has the diamonds, the ring, and the documents with him. He spent a week in his hiding spot, with supplies of food and water, with patience. After a week, he emerged from his hiding.
Realize he's hiding something. Case wants to stay and monitor the situation.
Changed into regular clothes and simply walked through the bank like an ordinary customer, past security, past cameras. Nobody stopped him. We see all his accomplices waiting on the street near the bank. They're free. None of them were caught. The perfect crime. At this moment, Frazier and Mitchell pull up to the bank. Frazier gets out of the car and runs into Dalton, who is just walking out the front door, exactly as he said earlier. Frazier enters the bank with a court order. He wants to open Case's safe deposit box. Inside, he finds three things: chewing gum, a Cartier ring, and a note. The note has just three words: follow the ring. Frazier realizes the game continues. Dalton left him a clue. The detectives drive to Arthur Case. Frazier asks the old man about the box. He's already figured out that the contents are connected to something bad, to Case's past, to his dark secrets. Case tries to dodge the questions. He squirms and evades, but then Frazier pulls out the ring and shows it to the old man. He says that one day he will definitely learn the whole truth, learn what bad things Case is hiding, and then justice will prevail. Case turns pale. He realizes that his past has finally caught up with him. Later, Frazier shows up at a meeting between Madeleine and the mayor. He shows them the ring and gives Madeleine a phone number. It's the Office of War Crimes in Washington. She can call there and tell them about her client. In exchange, Frazier gives her the pen with the recording of their conversation. Deal complete. Frazier is satisfied. He managed to outplay the powerful fixer and the captain. He didn't get the robbers, but he got something else: justice, in his own way. In the final shot of the film, we see Frazier at home. He takes off his jacket and hangs it on a chair. Something falls from his pocket to the floor. A small, shiny object. The detective bends down and picks it up. It's a diamond. A real diamond. Dalton slipped it to Frazier when they bumped into each other at the bank entrance. A gift. Or a thank you. Or just a reminder that sometimes criminals are smarter than the police. Frazier looks at the stone and smiles. He enjoyed this game. Despite being on opposite sides of the law, the detective and the criminal respect each other for their sharp minds, for their determination, for their ability to play the long game. Dalton pulled off the perfect robbery. He entered the bank through the front door and exited the same way. If you're not caught, you're not a thief. Or are you still a thief? That depends on your point of view.